In this video, I will teach you mass transfer operation 1. Firstly, I will explain you what is mass transfer operations. So let's begin. Mass transfer is the net movement of mass from one location to another, or we can say transfer of mass from higher concentration region to the lower concentration region. Mass transfer occurs in many processes such as absorption, evaporation, drying, precipitation, membrane filtration, and distillation. Some common examples of mass transfer are evaporation of water from pond to the atmosphere. This is a natural example and general example. And second example is purification of blood in the kidney and liver. This is a biological example. So this is a mass transfer. Now we will see first chapter of mass transfer operations.
So we are going to see today first topic of mass transfer. Before that, we should know what are the topics involved in your syllabus according to GTU. So first unit is introduction. Okay, here we are going to see various types of mass transfer operations, then choice of separation method and design principles. Okay, next, molecular diffusions in fluid. This is second unit where we are going to see various types of diffusion. Okay, and third unit is mass transfer coefficient, where we are going to see different theories, that is film theory, penetration theory, and surface renewal theory. Next, fourth unit is interphase mass transfer, where we are going to see the mass transfer between the intraphase and interphase, and we are going to see two resistance theory of mass transfer, controlling mass transfer resistance. What is meaning of overall mass transfer coefficient? What is the meaning of local mass transfer coefficient? All these topics we are going to study in interphase mass transfer. Next unit is gas absorption. Here we are going to see what is the meaning of absorption. What is the difference between adsorption and absorption? What are the non-ideal solution? What is ideal solution? What is NTU? What is HTU? Okay, so all this topic we are going to study in gas absorption. Next topic is equipment for gas liquid operations. Here we are going to see flooding, coning, weeping. All these are the adverse vapor flow conditions which are occur in the distillation column. Okay, after that we are going to study what is the difference between tray tower and pack tower. What is meaning of co-current operation? What is meaning of counter current operation? What is meaning of weight wall tower? And what is meaning of Venturi scrubber? All these things we are going to study in equipment for gas liquid operations. After that we are going to study leaching. Leaching, what is meaning of leaching? How it is different from the liquid extraction? How it is different from distillation? How it is different from drying, crystallization? All this we are going to study in this chapter. After that we are going to study liquid extraction. This is also separation process. Distillation also separation process, but how liquid extraction is different from distillation and leaching and absorption. Here we are going to study all these topics in this unit. After that we are going to study in the same unit what is a ternary diagram, what is a liquid equilibrium, what is a single stage and multi-stage equipments required from liquid extraction, and application of liquid extraction. And last unit is crystallization. I told you there is a difference between leaching and crystallization. There is a difference between humidification and crystallization. All this topic we are going to study in crystallization, where we will see nucleation. What is the meaning of nucleation? What is the principle of crystallization? What is the saturation? What is the crystal growth? All this we are going to study in crystallization. Okay, so in this lecture today we will see basic definition of mass transfer and introduction related to mass transfer. Means we are going to study first unit. So first unit is introduction. So what is mass transfer? Mass transfer means the transport or migration of one constituent from a region of higher concentration to that of lower concentration is known as mass transfer. Means transfer of any substance from higher concentration region to the lower concentration region. For example, diffusion. What happens in diffusion? There is transfer of molecules from higher concentration region to the lower concentration region, means transfer of mass. Mass is nothing but molecule. This phenomena is known as mass transfer. An example is diffusion. Second, mass transfer operations are broadly classified into three categories. Okay, we can classify mass transfer operation according to these three categories. Direct contact of two immiscible or partially miscible phases. Second one, phases separated by membrane. And third one, direct contact of miscible phases. So we should know what are the subtopics or subtypes of these main types. Suppose means phase separated by membrane. There are various important operations involved in this topic. For example, I am taking mass transfer. Okay, mass transfer is divided into three types. First one is a direct contact of two miscible or partially miscible phases. Second one, phases separated by membrane. And third one, direct contact of miscible phases. Now we will see subtypes of this topic. Means, for example, direct contact of two miscible phases or partially miscible phases. So it is divided into four main categories. First one, liquid gas operation. Second one, liquid operation. Third one, solid gas operation. And fourth one, solid liquid operation. So all these four types comes under direct contact of immiscible or partially miscible phases. What I said, liquid gas, liquid, solid gas, and solid liquid. For your understanding, I am giving you examples. For liquid gas operation, example is a distillation process. For liquid operation, example is liquid extraction process. For solid gas operation, example is adsorption process. AD, not AB. AD, adsorption. It is a surface phenomena. And AB, absorption, is bulk phenomena. So for solid gas, example is adsorption. And fourth one, solid liquid operation. Example is adsorption again. Next, phase separated by membrane. Here also it is divided into three subcategories. First one is gases, gas operation. Second one is gas liquid operation. And third one is liquid operation. So example, here also example for gas operation is permeation. Okay, after that gas liquid operation, again permeation, same process involved. And third one, liquid operation, it is here example is dialysis. And third topic is direct contact of miscible phases. Here direct contact of miscible phases means phases are direct into the contact. So for this example is thermal diffusion, means diffusion, it is a diffusion but by using thermal, by using energy, temperature, it is thermal diffusion. Okay, so all these are the important subtypes and subtopics of mass transfer operations. But if the question asked in exam, classify the mass transfer operation, you have to write these three topics and you have to also write subtopics which I told you an example for the same. Okay, next one, methods of conducting the mass transfer operations. So these are the four methods. First one is unsteady state operation. Second one is steady state operation. Third one is continuous contact operation. And fourth one is batch wise operation. So what is the meaning of unsteady state operation? What is the meaning of steady state operation? What is the meaning of continuous contact and batch wise? We will see one by one. So unsteady state operation means it is the characteristics of unsteady state operation that concentration at any point in the apparatus changes with the time. If any property changes with the time, it is known as unsteady state operation. Okay, and steady state operation means property does not changes with time, means it is does not vary with time. I can say it is characteristics of steady state operation that concentration at any position in the apparatus remain constant with time, means there is no variation in any property with variation in the time, but in unsteady state operation there is a variation with time. Okay, so this is a major difference between unsteady state operation and steady state operation. Next one, continuous contact or differential contact operation. So I can define it. In this case, the phase flow through the equipment in continuous manner. ultimate contact throughout without repeated physical separation and recontacting. That known as continuous contact operation. Means here material is in the direct contact. Okay, and batch wise. It is the most simple. In this case, the phases flow through the equipment in batches. Main objective. What is main objective for operating in batch? The main objective is to get required quality of product. Okay, it is a time consuming, but we can get required quality of product in batch wise operation. So these are the main 4 methods for conducting the mass transfer operation. First one is unsteady state operation, second one is a steady state operation, third one is continuous contact operation, and fourth one batch wise operation. Next one, design principles. So design principles, there are 4 important characteristics which are very important in design principles, and we know that in engineering we are dealing with design. So in chemical engineering, if you want to design any process, so these are the 4 parameters which are very important. First one is number of equilibrium stages, second one is a time requirement, third one is permissible flow rate, and fourth one is energy requirement. So what is the meaning of number of equilibrium stages? In order to determine the number of equilibrium stages required in cascade, what is the meaning of cascade? Means process occur in different stages, that known as cascade process. Means what is meaning of number of equilibrium stages? In order to determine the number of equilibrium stages required in cascade to bring about a specified degree of separation or the equivalent quantity for continuous contact device, the equilibrium characteristics of the system or material balance calculations are required. What is meaning of material balance calculation? In material balance calculation, we can find out what amount of quantity is going to react and what amount of quantity of the product is going to produce. Means what are the composition of component in product stream and what are the composition of material in the reactant stream. Okay, all this we are going to see in the equilibrium stages. And second one, time requirement. We should know what is the time requirement for any process. Means is it time consuming? We should know that. So in stage wise operation, the time of contact is intimately connected with stage efficiency. Whereas for continuous contact equipment, the time leads ultimately to the volume of length of required device. Means the factor which help establish the time are several. Material balances permit calculations of the relative quantities required to various phases. We should know what is the required quantity, what is time required for any process. So time requirement, this is a very important parameter in design principle of any process. Okay, next one, permissible flow rate. Permissible flow rate or material balances determine the absolute quantity of each of the stream required. So we should know what is the permissible flow rate. There should be well-defined flow rate. Then and then we can avoid adverse flow conditions in any reactor, in any column. For example, there are adverse vapor flow conditions in distillation column. If we cross the permissible flow rate of vapor or liquid in distillation column, there will be adverse vapor flow conditions. For example, flooding, we can say entrainment. Okay, all these because of the adverse vapor flow conditions. So permissible flow rate we should know to design any equipment for the process. Next one, energy requirement. Energy requirement is the most important parameter. We should know is that process is energy consuming? Means is that process is energy efficient? If energy requirement is increases, the cost of the process or cost of the equipment is also increases. So energy requirement we should know during design of any process. So all these are the important design principles, important parameters to design any chemical process or any chemical equipment. So first one is the number of equilibrium stages, second one is the time requirement, third one is permissible flow rate, and fourth one is energy requirement for the process. So this is all in today's lecture. Thank you very much.